Hi, Pat the Podcast Editor here. In this episode of the Business Anchors podcast, Dan and Lloyd unpack some of the biggest loads of marketing bollocks they've heard from all their years in the industry.
How do you unpack a bollock?
In the marketing world, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and people who don't understand what actually happens are being manipulated. We're here in this episode to unpack the bollocks so that people know what's going on.
So get ready to have your mind blown with some home truths.
Did you know you can literally just pay to write for Forbes and mention whoever you want? Industry awards.
You paid to do that, right?
That's top tier bollocks.
Listening to this for some people might open people's eyes.
Now, before we dive in, we'd like to take a second to thank our sponsors, Adobe Express. Adobe Express allows you to quickly and easily create standout social graphics, logos, flyers, and more on web and mobile. Click the link in the description to try Adobe Express today. Right, let's dive in. This is episode 134 of the Business Anchors podcast.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long.
What marketing bollocks are we unpacking today, Dan?
A variety of marketing bollocks, Lloyd.
How do you unpack a bollock?
So this is a slightly
Step-by-step guide.
This is a slightly different episode. We haven't unpacked a bollock before, but
Oh, you're missing out.
quick backstory. I guess I want us to keep thinking, how can we shape these podcast episode topics around things that the anchors want to hear about? You know, we've done literally hundreds of episodes now and around lots of different topics, and I want us to keep improving. There's two ways we're going to do that. One is by asking anchors, please tell us topic ideas that you want to hear. So first of all, if you're listening to this and you want to hear us talk about a specific topic we maybe haven't discussed before, please do contact us. You can message us on social or email yasmin@knowltonmarketing.co.uk with some suggestions.
Yeah.
The other one, which is what this is based on, is by looking at what are people responding to on social that we're posting about that is driving conversation, and then having an episode around that. So the reason we're talking about this is because I recently posted a number of sort of sarcastic LinkedIn posts about bollocks that goes on in the marketing and business world, and they got literally hundreds of people commenting on them.
And define bollocks.
Well, Lloyd, so I think it's in the marketing world. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors and things that go on that are perhaps seen as unethical, and people who don't understand what actually happens are being manipulated. And we're here in this episode to unpack the bollocks so that people know what's going on.
I do think listening to this for some people might open people's eyes and potentially shift the way they buy things or sign up to pay businesses in certain way, because there's a lot of things that are used to sometimes make people or businesses seem more credible, that when you unpack the bollocks, there's not much anyway, we'll get into it.
And I mean, and just as a caveat, to be completely honest and transparent, in the early days when we started our business, I think we were part of the bollocks. We didn't have the experience and understanding to not be part of it. Now, 7 years on, we've been through all that, and we've discovered certain things that are happening. So now I feel like we're in a good position to be honest.
I would say I think there's two levels of bollocks, and we weren't in the second level of it.
Okay.
So I think when we were young and starting the business, obviously we were learning and working out how things work and what we need to do. And I think that's the level of bollocks we were in, as in what great things can we do with our marketing to try and get noticed and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's another level of bollocks, which is
deceiving your...
people that should know better, basically. Lloyd and Dan, when they were little boys starting the business, all those 7 years ago or something, in that first year, I don't think we really... Well, we definitely didn't know what we were doing at that point. And whereas I think some of the examples we're talking about, there are grown men and women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, deliberately deceiving people. And I would just like to say, I'm not part of that level of bollocks. Okay.
So the first thing we're going to talk about, Lloyd,
Mm-hmm.
industry awards.
Ooh.
I want to take you back. I want to tell a quick story. I want to take you back to 2016
Okay, take me there.
when we won Social Media Business of the Year. Not going to mention the awards that it was at,
Well.
but we won Social Media Business of the Year.
Pop the champers.
I think we'd been running our business for probably a couple of months or so. Not a couple of months, but maybe.
No, it must have been about a year.
Yeah, about a year. We won Social Media Business of the Year. So obviously we must have been hugely successful.
Yeah, absolutely smashing it. Best in the country.
No, we were making a loss and you were getting the bus the next day to a networking event because you couldn't afford to run a car,
Which is perfectly acceptable.
which is perfectly acceptable.
But I guess winning an award saying you've got the best business might say your business is good enough to afford to run a car if
Yeah.
you wanted to, which I did want to at the time.
I just think it's important to be transparent here. And I think, like, I'm torn with industry awards because I don't just want to shit on them because I genuinely think there's some really positives to do with industry awards. Like, I really do believe that getting recognition for the amazing work your company does and your team delivers, that recognition I think is really important for team morale, and to really motivate you to think we've worked bloody hard to work on this project and we've done something amazing and we're getting recognition. I do think that's amazingly positive.
I agree with that, with morale and kind of recognizing, because there are some individual awards for people within your business that people can get as well, and awards. But if your team has worked really hard on a project or a client campaign or however your business or industry works, and then it's recognized by winning an award, that's understandably a really nice feeling and a nice thing, isn't it?
And there's also some really credible awards out there that have a really stringent sort of judging process that you have to jump through lots of hoops to really prove that you are the best. I also think that winning awards makes you feel good. Like, who wants to shit on something that makes people feel good? Like, I remember when we won that award in 2016, I was euphoric.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I think there's video evidence of me wearing a, what's it called? Tuxedo, pretending to ride a horse on a stage. Dancing to,
yes, there was.
to some music.
And, you know, we don't want to be party poopers here. Like, it's amazing to see when people do win awards. Like, they really do feel
But
amazing.
you're saying we don't want to be party poopers. But I assume, talking about what you said, you're unpacking some bollocks. You're not saying,
Yes.
let's celebrate these brilliant things.
Yeah. So on the flip side, there's equally you know, the truth is a lot of awards companies or that give out awards are pure money making schemes. So
Businesses.
they're businesses. You know, they're businesses. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a business, but it's the way they pack themselves as you know, we want to give everyone awards when really what they're trying to do is sell as many tickets, dangle as many carrots to as many people as possible to say, you potentially won an award. Buy a ticket for 10 people to come to this award on a table and it's 150 quid a person. And then obviously only a couple of people win. So that's one sort of negative thing.
Because some of these awards, you literally have to pay to enter as well.
Yes.
And some of them, like well-known ones, you have to pay a lot to enter.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that kind of side of things. There's also the other side of things, which is, again, I don't have like hard evidence here, so this is just my opinion. But I think sometimes events and judges can be manipulated by who is spending the most money at the event and potentially put more awards towards those people. Like if you don't have any ethics, like it sounds logical. Let's award the people who are spending loads of money with us so they keep buying 5 tables at our event to make us survive.
I would say, on average, in the awards events we've been to, it's normally much less likely for people to win if they're not there and haven't bought tickets than the people that have brought like 20 of their team to the award ceremony. Which, you know, might have something to do with the money that brings in or might not. I would say with this whole awards thing, so we've discussed the good and the bad.
Yep.
There is a range, and I would say we wouldn't even completely say we'd never go for any awards again. Maybe we will at some point in our business. But I just think for being in this world of marketing and being involved in award ceremonies, winning some, knowing people that run events and different things, I I think just if you're making a purchasing decision, however big or small, whether it's shall I buy this chocolate bar or this bottle of wine because it's won Great Taste of the Year 2016 or something, or whatever those things are called,
Yeah.
or shall I work with this marketing agency because they've won Social Media Business of the Year, just take that with a pinch of salt because they may have won an award that you have to prove so much stuff to say, yeah, you are genuinely the best in the country. Or it might be one where it's one of these businesses that are purely focused on making money and they just have to kind of make it work. And they've bought 15 tickets to go to the event, so they've been more likely to win it. And I don't think, there may be in some industries, but I think in most industries, there aren't actually regulations to say that these awards have to be run in a certain way. So these businesses can do whatever they want, really.
I think my final critical point on this, which was a real eye-opener for me, when and I'm just talking about the industry I really understand, the marketing agency world. In other marketing agencies that are bigger than us, there are literally people who are hired and their entire job is to be good at writing award entries.
Yeah.
So agencies are winning based on who's the best at writing award entries. And, you know, bigger agencies have bigger budgets. They can literally pay a full-time person to write an amazing award entry. So it's like...
I remember we visited a marketing agency once and met the person that was hired to just write award entries. And it's a weird thing, isn't it? Thinking, oh, okay, yeah, so if you want to win awards, you just put more money, time and effort into winning awards rather than actually being the best. And so really it's a scale of who is best at entering awards. There's also, it's very hard, again, because there's not like regulations and stuff. People provide evidence in their applications of why, you know, say we were doing something, why is this marketing campaign the best? Now, me and you know, Dan, if you spend loads of ad spend on something, you can reach millions of people if you've got enough money to put behind something. So again, you can have a fairly unsuccessful campaign, but a client that's got a budget of 100 grand ad spend. Yeah. And so that's going to reach a billion people.
They've gone viral. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's gone viral. It's like, no, they just paid loads to show loads of people. So you can, I think, putting extra resource into applying for these awards, you can know what kind of works and what you need to do to get in front of people and win those awards.
And like in terms of the checking process, even when you're mentioning client campaigns, like I'm sure the judges aren't accessing the ads manager of the exact account that you've mentioned you got a certain result. Do you know what I mean? Like I just think there's lots
I know when we've applied in the past, I've sent screenshots of campaigns and different things, but obviously you can do whatever you want with those. You can just write some numbers if you wanted to. Like,
in a spreadsheet.
Look, we've had 1 billion views. Here's a piece of paper with 1 billion on it.
Yeah. Let's move on to Bollocks number 2, Lloyd.
Two bollocks, you could call it.
Getting featured in Forbes and credible places like that. Like, Forbes is a really credible publication. We've all heard of like Forbes 30 under 30 and stuff. And even up until fairly recently, I still thought like if I saw someone get mentioned in Forbes, I'd be like, bloody hell, they're
doing all right. Something's doing all right.
Yeah, they're doing all right. But then looking more deeply into it, I did this sort of sarcastic post on LinkedIn and a number of people were commenting on it. One of the comments was from a guy I know who's really well known in the marketing industry, like very well known. And he commented saying, did you know you can literally just pay to write for Forbes? And I didn't know that. You can literally just pay to write for Forbes and write and mention whoever you want.
I guess it comes back to this thing as well. In all of media, it's businesses that want to make money. So they have to make their money. Forbes has to make money to run itself and make a profit and all that sort of thing. And so it's the same. So magazines, people in media know that obviously a lot of what's in magazines is, so, you know, company, I don't know, you've got a perfume that you want to promote and you will pay that magazine and there'll be an article. It's like, oh my God, Stacey Solomon's favourite new perfume. It's not like that's just someone's gone, Stacey Solomon done an interview. Can you just tell me your favourite perfume? Yeah. It's a deal they've done to make sure they get an article in there to talk about this perfume. It's not just a random thing. Yeah. And so it's not just Forbes and these online publications. It's
Yeah.
all of media. They have to make money in some way, unless they're someone like the BBC who is funded by the public. TV, radio,
Yeah.
magazines, all of these places. If you want to get attention, you can pay them
Yeah.
to get the attention. So it's being aware of that,
Yeah.
basically.
Something I realised as well, which is really funny when you actually know this. So, like, you must have seen on Forbes, they do all of these influencer lists, like
Yeah.
the top beauty influencers of 2023 on Forbes.
Yeah.
Like, and it seems pretty credible, right? Then when I look at the article, and then I look like it's written by an author, a random person I've never heard of, that author has just, there's no methodology to choose that list. That author's just chosen people that they want to put on the list. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like there's a methodology for why they're the most, it's just the
And
person who writing it chose them.
Obviously, that allows a huge amount of bias.
Of course.
Like, oh, I like this person.
Yeah.
This person helped me get this customer.
Yeah.
Let's give me
Put them on the
$100,000
list.
income this year. Oh, I'll put them on the list.
Yeah.
Keeping the good books. It's understanding all these biases and incentives to make
Yeah.
money within these organisations, which completely makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
But on the surface, normally, and it's also when you're buying products, like I said, these bottles of wine that have great taste awards, whatever, and they have to pay to be able to put that on their bottle. Like if they win those awards,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, well done, mate. We've just actually tasted all these. Yours
Yeah,
happens to be the
yeah.
winner. So you can
like-
shout about it if you want. It's, by the way, you've applied for this, put loads of
Yeah.
effort in there. You've won one, and you can pay us 20 grand a year to put this on your bottle if you want.
Yeah.
So take those with a pinch of salt as well. There are so many like great taste awards and all tasty nuts awards and stuff that if food brands want an award
Yeah.
on their packaging, they can get one.
I think the key takeaway from this whole podcast is like, look at everything in a more critical way. I think this is something I've spoken about before. I've learned a lot from you, Lloyd. You know, things are always done in a certain way. You're always questioning why and that kind of thing. From a consumer perspective, whenever you're choosing a supplier or a company to buy something from or a product from a selection of products, like always question the bollocks. Always question we've won these awards. We've sold this many bottles because I think there is a lot of smoke and mirrors.
If you're making a purchasing decision, my advice would be get as close as you can to data and facts and ignore the stuff around it. Because all of us, we do loads of marketing stuff. Like this podcast is part of our marketing. Obviously, every business does marketing and promotes themselves in different ways. But I guess for an example, so using our business and a chocolate bar in this scenario. So what is it? Snickers protein bar, or whatever they did. So the protein on the front, the word protein is marketing. So they're trying to get people that want more protein to buy it.
Yeah.
The facts are the nutritional information and the ingredients on the back.
Yes.
So I'd say if you're looking for a certain thing, rather than looking at what it says on the front and like, won the National Protein Awards or whatever, and those things, on the back, look at the ingredients and the nutritional
20 spoonfuls of sugar in it.
And marketing agencies like ours at Knowlton, like we put loads of stuff out into the world to tell people about us and what we do. But I would say, like, if you're making a purchasing decision, like, oh, shall we work with Knowlton? Look at like the case studies and the facts of the results we've got for similar businesses, rather than like the stuff like this that we talk about. Like, oh, they seem to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anyone can put enough effort in and sound like they know what they're talking about, but try to get to the data and the facts.
Yeah.
I mean, or you can just work with us if it's us. But
You're trying to put people off working with us?
well, no, I'm just saying, like, every business does
Yeah, no.
marketing, so get as close to the facts as you can. And for our business and like a marketing agency, it would be like case studies and a business saying, "Oh, we want to work with you. If you work with a client like this," and we could say, "Yes, we
This
have.
one, here's the
what we
results."
did for them."
Yeah.
So it's like evidence.
Yeah.
You see, what
Evidence-based
I mean?
marketing.
There's
We've
lots of
spoken about
fluff
it.
around the evidence and ways that we make it easier for people to see what we do and try and get it in front of them. But I think try and see what is marketing.
Yeah.
And it's fine that businesses do that. Every business has to do that to get customers. But what's behind that? What are the facts?
Yeah.
So the nutritional information or the results on the case studies.
Good advice. I like that analogy.
Thanks, mate.
Should we go on to number 3?
Okay.
This is an all-time favourite of mine.
Is it?
Becoming an Amazon bestseller.
Nice. Anyone can do that.
How could they, Lloyd? Surely not. No, I mean, like, I still think, I reckon there's people listening to this now that think becoming an Amazon bestseller is a difficult thing to do. And like, it's admirable. And like, if someone's an Amazon bestseller, they must be an authority in their industry.
Yeah.
It's all complete bollocks. And can I just share a really interesting example that proves this point?
Please do.
There's a really great creator called Mike Winnett, a marketer, creator. And he's had a series called Contrepreneur, and where he basically looked at people who were ripping people off, like Tay Lopez and that kind of thing, and he showed what they're actually doing. One of the things he did was a video titled "How to Get an Amazon Bestseller with a Blank Book," and he proved that it's all absolute BS. So, can I quickly just go through the steps he took to get an Amazon bestseller?
Yep.
Because anyone could do this.
Yeah.
Like, you could do this now if you want.
Yeah,
Lloyd.
will do.
Step 1, create a book. So obviously that can take time, wait. But all he did was create a front cover and a back cover of a book. The whole middle was blank.
Okay.
It just said, this is a blank page on like 50 pages.
Nice. Even you could read that.
Even I could read that, right? So he created that book. So just create a front cover. Step 2, he uploaded the book to Amazon Direct Publishing, which means there's no upfront costs and you just pay a royalty fee whenever someone orders the book. They print it.
That's where they print it for you, don't it? So
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I'll print 10,000 books, hopefully they sell. It's like, I
Yeah.
won't print any, 7 people buy them,
Yeah.
Amazon print 7 of them.
Very low barrier to entry. No upfront investment. And the trick here, when you're uploading the book, this is the real trick here, is to upload the book into a really niche subcategory so you're competing with really boring books. So, for example, he uploaded his book into the subcategory business quality management. Like, there's no one creating good books in that. Well, there might be.
No offense, there probably is.
But it's very easy to stand out in that subcategory. He then had to wait up to 72 hours for Amazon to manually check the book. And this is what they say in their terms and conditions. It has to meet their strict publishing guidelines. So his book was literally 144 pages of blank pages saying this is a blank page. And it was live the same day. So Amazon authorized it. And to get best-selling title, you just have to be top of your subcategory for 1 hour. That's how you get an Amazon bestseller.
This is another one, and I don't think this is what Mike Winnett particularly did. But again, if you just have enough money, you can do it.
You just pay people to buy the book.
If you want to be a bestseller, you could just purchase 100 in an hour.
Yeah.
In each category
yeah.
of your own book.
Yeah. And he says that. So what he did was he actually had a Kindle version of the book that he dropped the price to 99p, just posted on social media, asked people to leave a 5-star review, and within an hour he was he was an Amazon bestseller. Guess how many copies he sold to be an Amazon bestseller?
182.
49.
Really?
For 99p.
So £49 or less than that.
Yeah.
Sales of a blank
Yeah.
book. And I mean, I've met a few people that I think are these Amazon bestsellers, and there was a guy that, there's a really niche travel category that I know a guy that writes books for. But yeah, I guess it's this weird thing of you find a niche category. So like, I could just be like, right in the skiing tips for someone with a dad bod category.
yeah.
And I'd be the best book.
Yeah.
Again, it's just this weird thing where if you know how to do it, you can just say you're this thing, and then suddenly everyone thinks you're really credible.
I feel bad for like people who are actually writing really good books, but I guess I haven't looked into it, but there's the whole like New York Times bestseller. I think those ones seem more credible, but I don't know.
I think you'll just fall in for more of it.
No, do you think it's just again like a bigger scale of that?
Well, if you think if you have enough money, you can get to the top of those lists.
Yeah.
Like books and music and everything, whoever has the budget for marketing, if you market your book, you will eventually get onto that bestseller list. People might not like it, but they've sold the most.
Yeah.
And I suppose we should put it out there. There are loads of people that say they're Amazon bestsellers that write amazing books and are really great authors.
I think we're being quite cynical here.
It's like we're saying for all of it, you've just got to take it with a pinch of salt. Don't make your entire purchasing decision on the fact that they say they're an Amazon bestseller in like their social media banner image. I can't remember the name of it because I run such a good social media business.
Yeah. So Amazon bestseller. The next one, this one gets on my nerves. So paying to speak at an event.
Yeah.
And let me quick backstory. Let me tell you why this one gets on my nerves. So I speak at events around the world and stuff and have done for a number of years.
Because you pay to speak at
No, don't pay to speak. Get paid to speak at these events.
Oh,
but it's taken years of
marketing bollocks.
It's taken years of building that up and not getting paid and that kind of thing. So we get a number of inbound calls of people saying, we've got an event, we want you to speak at it. And there's a certain company, I don't want to mention who it is, but keep calling us up and basically asking, they call us up and say, we'd love you to speak at our event. And they keep you on the phone. It's like, okay, tell us more. And they talk about their event. We want you to do this, we want you to do that. And then it gets to near the end of the call and I sort of ask, okay, what budget have you got for this? And they say, oh, to speak, you need to pay us $8,000 to exhibit at our event so that you can speak at it. And it's like...
So they make it sound like at first they make it sound like they're approaching you, like other events do, to say, Dan Knowlton, cool, he's pretty good. We want to speak at our event and we'll pay you to do that. But when it comes round to it, it's actually just them selling for you to exhibit at their event.
That's not the worst part. I think the worst part is for the people who attend the event. Because the people who attend the event are expecting there to be all these speakers, but the speakers have paid thousands to speak there, so they've got to get that money back somehow. So most of those speakers are really low quality speakers who just try and sell stuff on the stage. And then the people who go there are expecting something of value.
What's the incentive of someone to pay £8,000 to speak in an event? It's not to provide the most value and deliver a really good talk to an audience that's going to help that audience and really tailor it to them and entertain them or inform them or anything like that. It's how I've paid $8,000. I'm obviously doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
Either it's because I'm trying to sell loads of stuff at this event, and so I'm going to say, so there's this magical thing on TikTok, and I'm going to talk about it for a bit. And by the way, I do a TikTok course. Come over to my stand, and I'm going to sell it to you. Or it's that they're trying to become a speaker, so because they're not currently getting paid to speak, they're faking it until they make it, and they're trying to build their reputation as a speaker. And neither of those offers good value to people attending the event.
And I think even it's good for people to go out there and try and like when I started, I was terrible and I just spoke at tiny events for years until I built up my confidence and got better. And I think you don't want to discourage people from getting out there and sharing their insights with the world, but just doing it in a way that's you trying to sell stuff on stage is rubbish. And paying for events is one way that happens. So
also, if you're attending events, just take it with a pinch of salt when you're listening to these speakers, because if you are attending one of these events and you're going there and you're thinking, right, I'm going to learn a load of great stuff here, and you think probably these speakers are really credible people that have got this great knowledge and expertise, and unfortunately some of the time at events like this, people are in front of you that don't have that knowledge, expertise, and are just paid to be there, and they're going to tell you things that probably aren't worth you listening to and set you down the wrong path potentially. So I would say really look into the speakers you're going to listen to and make sure either they've achieved something you want to achieve, so learning from their experience is something that'll be really valuable to you, or that they genuinely are an expert in a certain field that you want to learn about, rather than just thinking, well, if they're speaking on stage, they must be worth listening to. And again, just like the authors thing, there are loads of absolutely brilliant speakers at these events. Obviously, there's some events where 1 out of 20 of them are absolutely brilliant because the others have paid to be there. There's certain events where 18 out of 20 of them will be brilliant speakers because it's not run in that way. But we're not saying these event speakers like Dan Knowlton over here are terrible. It's just, obviously, people are paying to speak and they might not be as good or useful for you.
So the final one, the final bit of BS, and I think this is one of the most important lessons that we can all learn from, is to understand that when you're getting advice from someone who's an expert in a certain industry, their advice may not be best for you.
Yeah.
I think, and I found this, again, being transparent in the early days, because I was so ingrained in social media, I would tell everyone, you've got to do this, you've got to get on TikTok, or you've got to do that, you've got, but really, that might not be best for certain businesses and certain industries. Like, there could be people who it would be better to focus on SEO or PPC or something else. Like, I think as someone who is sort of focuses a lot on a certain channel, your opinion is skewed because it's worked for you. You think that everyone else should do it, whereas really, I think wherever you're getting advice from, you should be taking it all with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I think big red flag example for us as a marketing agency, if we were doing this kind of thing, if you're looking for a marketing agency and you're talking about lots of different options of, we're thinking of doing this, this, and this. If they're telling you everything that they don't do is rubbish and won't work, and their thing will work, I think that's a big red flag. I think you want to be hearing from them a much more balanced approach. So for us, for example, we don't specialize in Google ads or pay-per-click on Google necessarily. And if people are coming to us and saying, right, we want a strategy where we're going to be doing social ads, creative video, TV ads, and Google ads as well. If our response were, don't worry about the Google ads. Definitely don't do that. Won't work. All the other stuff we do. That'll work really well. Then I think that'd be a red flag. You want them to have a balanced view, and even if they're saying, well, we don't actually specialize in that, so we wouldn't be able to help you with that, but we can do this. If people are saying their thing works and nothing else does, massive red flag. It's natural though, especially with smaller businesses and people starting out, to think, I know about this thing, I know how it works, so obviously I'm going to say that this is the best thing. But sometimes it's that in business we don't know what we don't know.
No, exactly.
So we don't know how PPC ads could be the absolute best thing for someone because we haven't got that expertise knowledge, but we can be open-minded enough to say, yeah, that sounds like it could be a sensible option.
And we've got partners that specialise in that stuff as well that we work with.
Yeah. You can still work with us on that stuff. We'll just actually work with people who are experts and much better than us, rather than saying, no, that won't work.
Cool. So hopefully everyone's eyes are opened to the BS that's going on in the marketing world now.
Basically, be really critical, really cynical, never believe anything you're told, and a hugely negative person, and you'll be fine.
I think this is a good point. Yeah, don't take this as like we hate everyone and everything. And I think this is more of a case of things we've learned over the years, and we're trying to share those opinions with you. Like in everything we've said, there's good versions of those.
Yeah,
there's good speakers. There's good Amazon bestsellers.
100%. And there's also the difference, like we said, of the people that are maybe just early in their business journey and starting out, and aren't doing things to try and deceive you, and just that they don't know any better at this point, and they're talking about what they know about. And then there are people that are actively trying to deceive you, and most of those are the bigger guys making more money from courses and books and stuff. And
we're actually selling a course, aren't we, Lloyd?
Yeah. It's completely free for just £7,997. Now there, you see that example? There's an incentive for us to make money out of you. So you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, and you've got to, although this course has won lots of awards, and
it's an Amazon bestseller, even though it's a course and not a book.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, it's bloody brilliant. But you should use all of our advice and just see if this course is for you or it's not for you.
Buy it.
But it's for you. So buy it now. Nothing else works.
Oh, good. That was a nice end to the pod.
Yeah. So, we're just off to... premature, Dan, as usual. We're just off to write a couple of Amazon bestsellers. So I'm writing about skiing with a dad bod. What are you writing about, Dan? Terrible haircuts?
Dad of two that lives in Thanet, who owns a video and social media marketing agency that is quite creative.
Yeah. Nice. I'll just have an extra kid and I'll be the top seller. You can be second. Okay. Well,
see you.
Dan's being premature again. No, sorry.
I got.
We will
See you in your ears next week.